Ifweku Ewe with us here this morning. She has a very long designation, but we have so many of them. One of the assistant registrars at the University of Benin, a certified customer service professional from Minor Police, certified United Federation of African Karate referee. Then above it all, she's a human rights activist, a member of the Situation Control Room for Edo State protest hashtag End Bad Governance and hashtag End Hunger Protest 2024. Ifweku, you're welcome to this
Thank
program.
you very much, sir.
And also to have Blessed Jat. Blessed Jat is the Executive Director, Kadosh Initiative for Justice, Environmental Development, and head of the Secretariat of the Coalition of Edo Civil Society Organizations here in Edo State. Gentlemen, you're welcome, and the gentle lady, you're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Now, we saw the news yesterday. Of course, we still have the report that the Edo Civil Society Organizations had to withdraw from the protest. Little wonder whether you people envisaged the presidential broadcast this morning. I'll start with you, Ifweku.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. I can't actually say I envisaged the government broadcast, but what I have to tell you is that I happen to be one of the members, the civil society, the coalition of civil society organization of Edo State members that was appointed to the police control room for the situation report. And from the look of things, we got a lot of, you know what the control room is all about?
Yeah.
Where you get a lot of distress calls as regards the happenings around and within Edo State. Okay, and so being a member or a participant in that situation control room for the police, I got to, I got the first-hand information on all the happenings within Edo State. And from the look of things, we could see that a lot of the protest was peaceful, but it would have been adjourned if necessary actions were not put in place. So that is it.
All right, so Blessed, what would you want to say is probably responsible? Because we thank God the way the protest has been in Edo State. I mean, this is supposed to be the day four, except the fact that Mr. President has pleaded and ordered that the protest should stop. But is it that the Edo Civil Society Organization probably did not educate the public enough? Because I know you have the role to also educate the public that, hey, even if we have to protest, this is how it should be. Was it that you people did not educate the protesters enough, that the protest started taking a kind of a violence nature, as it were?
All right, thank you very much. Let me give you a background. When the news of the national protest came up, there were palpable fear. There was tension in Edo because of how volatile Edo is. Looking at the fact that we are in an election period. And then there were a lot of speculation. At a point, we had proposed that the Edo Civil Society Organization will not join the protest because we have reasons not to have joined the protest. But we had several consultations with the security agencies, and it was in one of those meetings, it was the security agencies that even suggested, as CSO leaders, we cannot afford another NSAS experience in Edo. We know what happened during the NSAS and during the catch crunch protest. Those avoidable loss of life and damage to private properties. And so we were appealed to come into the protest and give it a face and a coordination. And what we succeeded in doing, now we have set a pace, a standard for Nigeria. Now, if you recall, a lot of people are of the opinion that Edo, of course, Edo is a hotbed. If anything escalates in Edo, it has the propensity and potential to skyrocket all over Nigeria. So there was the fear. And what we did was we had several meetings, several consultations, and we came out with a strategy to curtail the protest in Edo for several reasons. Because we were aware that several persons, including political parties, had interest in the protest.
Oh, really?
And in order to forestall this, because at the end of the day, politicians care about themselves. Then the average hoodlum on the street cares about themselves. So what we did was to, number one, give the protest a face and a coordination. So we became the coordinators of the protest. We mapped out strategies to ensure. One of the things we did was to centralize the protest at the Ovorame Square. And the beauty of that is when you look at previous protests, when people are doing marches along the street, especially high-risk environments. When I mean high-risk, in terms of where you have businesses, Airport Road, Akpakpava, and those kind of places, it becomes very easy for, number one, persons that have the wrong intention to just divert from here and there and start to do one or two things. So we decided, let us occupy the King's Square.
Okay. Now, Jat, just said that politicians had interest in the protest. Now,
everybody does.
Yeah, that was what you said. I had to take up from what you said. Now, was it the case in Edo that the opposition to the federal government's party now, we're trying to have interest in the protest?
Well, what I can say is this, that the happenings in Edo State and nationwide, right, affect everyone. So I would not want to pin it on any politician or any political party if they had interest or not.
Or in other words, what kind of interest do you think the opposition party, as opposing to the federal government's party now, would have had in this protest?
Well, I can't read their minds, and I have nothing to say on that. I don't want to dabble into that, because the happenings in Edo State, the hunger and bad governance affects everybody. And so, the protest is for everyone.
Okay, let me come to Jad now. What do you exactly mean when you say politicians had interest in the protest?
First of all, on a quick one, we are in an election season.
Okay.
Now, if you recall what happened in the States about a week before the protest proper, you will know that Edo State was sitting on a keg. And because it's an election year, everybody, one of the things that characterizes election is everybody trying to score a point. And everything that comes to the table is a weapon to score that point. And when you have a protest like that, it becomes a tool for politicians across board to want to try to undo each other, discredit each other for whatever reason to achieve whatever gain. So we have some of those intelligent reports. And we decided, number one, we're not going to play into anybody's hand. We're not going to play into a script written by anybody. So we decided to be neutral until reason prevailed. We decided to give the protest a face. And another thing you will notice is that Edo Civil Society organization really did not mobilize for the protest.
Yeah.
Instead, what we did was to coordinate the process. What we did was to manage. Now, that was a very heinous task. A while ago, you were asking, did we envisage the president's speech? Now, we did something unique in Edo State, with all fairness. The protest was just not focused on the federal government. Our emphasis was on government across all levels. And one of the things we did, we compelled the governor. The one of the protests, the CP of Edo State, is a very wonderful man. He's a friend to the Nigerian people. And he proved that during this whole process. They were very supportive and cooperative. He came and assured the people that the police is out not to fight you. The police is your friend because we go to the same markets. We feel the same thing. So he assured the people, if you do your part, we are here to give you coverage. And then later in the afternoon, we saw the atmosphere. We compelled the governor to come and address Edo people.
Which day are you talking about now? The first day?
The first day of the protest. I'm giving you a build-up of all the things that happened leading to the call-off of the protest in Edo. Now, the height of a protest
by Edo Civil Society
Organization, who were the managers, who were the coordinators of the protest in Edo State. Now, the governor came and addressed the people, and he made 3 promises, key issues that are very essential, pertinent to Edo people, issues that touch everybody. He made those promises and left. And then, day 2 of the protest, we had an Edo People's Parliament right there at the Obalvorame Square, where Edo people spoke their mind, and we came up with a declaration, which is now today called the Obalvorame Square Declaration.
What is that declaration?
Now, that declaration has 3 components.
Okay.
First was a demand to the state government, in view of the promises he made openly to Edo people. And then we had the second set of demand targeted at the federal government. And then we had demands for ourselves as civil society organization as a way of moving forward.
Okay, perhaps let's, if we could continue, would you want to let us know the demands to the Edo State government before we continue?
Well, some of the demands that were made was to speak to him on how the lives of the citizens can be catered for, the basic amenities and all that. You know what is happening, the hike in prices, food regulation, price regulation, basic amenities and all that we need, which are the basic rights of citizens of Edo State. Those were the things that we put forward to him. It was all encompassing of the plight of the people.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so in addition to your response, Jat, now, because the Edo Civil Society Organization has pulled out for the protest. Now, the Edo State Civil Society Organization is supposed to be an umbrella for every person. I mean, for the fact that you are an Edo person, you are a member of the civil society organization. It's just that we have to have some organization to encapsulate every person. That's why you guys are here. Does it now mean that the protest cannot go on in Edo State?
All right, on a very quick note, constitutionally, it is the right of every Nigerian to protest, as long as it is done within the ambient of the law. So even though as an organization, rather as a coalition, as civil society organization that is managing the protest in Edo, we have decided to call off and to pull out. Edo people who wish to continue to vent their displeasure, their dissatisfaction, is within their constitutional right. We are only appealing in view of security situations in the state. Are you aware that only yesterday there were some activities around the prison, which is believed to have been a deliberate attempt to have broken the prison for the second time?
Which of the prisons are you talking about now?
At Ring Road. Now, there were some activity.
You mean the one on Sapler Road?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, several things have been happening. The first day of the protest, when we were gone, some hoodlums came at about 6, 7 in the evening and started robbing at Ring Road. Now, if not for the way we attempted to, I remember even the day 2 of the protest, right there at the King Square, if not because we have strategy to contain, some persons right there revolted and said, let's go and burn down the airport. But we had men and strategy on ground. Why those things were rising, that was the more reason we decided, let us occupy. Because while we are in one spot, we are better able to manage and curtail anything as they rise up.
Now, if I could, don't you think that perhaps the CSOs are pulling out too early? Because what some persons are saying now is that from what Mr. President said, Mr. President probably, from what they're saying, is that Mr. President probably has not hit the nail on the head. That's the way some people are saying now. Now, for Edo Civil Society Organization to be pulling out, is it not too early?
No.
I mean, this is day 4. We don't know what will happen in the next few hours. Is it not too early to pull out?
Well, I don't think, I would say it's not too early to pull out. Reason being that, being a member of the situation room where distress calls were being made, do you know that as at about 7 a.m. on the first day of the protest, the first distress call that was made was from Okabere Junction at Saple Road. There was already blockades there, and citizens who now put on the activities of a hoodlum, extorting money and stopping vehicular movement. If not for the activities of the CP, the DC hubs, AC hubs, and all members of the control room, they put all hands on deck to send out their manpower, all the Eagle units, the monitoring units, the anti-robbery, anti-kidnapping. They were all on deck to put a hold on the activities of those hoodlums. And if you can see some of the activities of the police force, right, I would really commend them. When you see them, they came out with their red alert tag on their right hand.
I saw that. But
in solidarity.
Yeah.
It was in solidarity.
I had just 1 minute, I had to ask a police officer.
Yes.
Now, this red armband you're wearing,
yes,
what does it symbolize? He told me that it means red alert.
Yes.
What is red alert? He said anything can happen.
Yes.
Now, I'll tell you what the protester said. He told me that thing is infuriating, that they don't want to see that thing. That was what the protester mentioned to me. I mean, for the protester, he said that as a police officer, you are trying to manage the situation and you are having a red something on you, that the average protester sees that is infuriating to him. So I don't know what gave the advice for the police to put on that.
All right. From the look of things, right, most of the police officers that were on ground at various hotspots, right, they were on that band, and it's a sign, right, for you to know that they were designated to areas to work. That was a solidarity sign. It doesn't mean it doesn't mean anything negative.
Yeah, but that was what the protester told me.
That is his own. Everyone is entitled to his or her own opinion, but we know that it was a solidarity movement, and in all of the activities of the Nigerian police force in Edo State. All glory to the command, to the state command, right? I would say that there were minimal use of force. They pleaded to the conscience, the emotions of the citizens while they protested, right? Even those barricades that were on the way, they pleaded to their emotions to take it off. And they were not forceful on their demands on them. They were not forceful in their actions on the protesters. They pleaded with them with everything, every kind of nice words. They spoke to them politely because they were all part of the protest, as the case may be.
Yeah,
just on a quick one. You asked, are those civil society organizations not pulling out too early?
Yeah.
The answer is no. And I'll tell you why. First, in our assessments, we have achieved the objective for the protest in Edo, of which, even if we stay on the street for another 10 days, what is the end of it? The governor, you either meet the governor or the governor come to address you, you give a position paper for onward transmission to the presidency. That is how it is still eventually going to end.
Yeah, but the objective of
just
the
a minute.
Average protester on
Just a minute.
the streets.
Just a minute.
Yeah.
Now, outside the fact that we're able to achieve this, we do not only just have a position paper, we have a declaration. And that declaration is first and foremost focused on state concern, issues that affect the people in the Edo State. Now, outside that, you talked about the red flag.
Yeah, the red band.
Why? Now, we have worked in synergy from the onset to the end with the Edo State Police Command. In fact, it was an every minute interaction, continuously. We have several teams who were on roving. We have teams who were engaging the media. We have teams who were engaging the protesters across the city. At certain point, even at the King Square, now there were certain persons who came to that protest ground. Particularly, let me use yesterday for an example. Because of the armed robbery that happened 2 nights ago, and then certain persons that came to that protest ground yesterday, everybody was on alert to forestall possible breakdown of law and order and mindless waste of life by innocent. So these persons were, though they were on red alert, yet they were very civil. Like I mentioned, when the CP came, he assured Edo people. Are you even aware the Edo State Police Command, out of their own free will, donated water and biscuit to the protesters? Now, this was a sign of solidarity and goodwill to appeal to the conscience of the people, to conduct themselves orderly, and to know that the police are not their enemy. And we have said that consistently all through while we were mapping out strategy for this. Number one, let's use Ugbawa Lagos Road as an example and the implication it had in the entire Edo state. While the protest was going on, the problem started from Uselu Park to Nitel. Between this place I just called, there were more than 35 roadblocks from Uselu Park to Nitel Junction. And each of these roadblocks collects between 1,000 and 5,000 naira from people. I remember we came to ITV.
Are you saying that authoritatively?
Yes, authoritatively, because we passed that road. Even we came late to your program.
5,000 naira?
I'm coming truck, we are paying 5,000, and normal vehicle we are paying between 1,000 and 2,000.
You used that road. Did you give 5,000 naira?
I am coming. Let me finish.
Yeah.
Now, we passed that road. I know we were on this station the second day of the protest. So we passed through that blockade. That was how we even got to know what was. Even we that are managers of the protest, they did not allow us to pass, except we settle. So we delayed coming to this program for more than 1 hour 30 minutes. It took us to call the CP to order the DPO in charge of one of those spots to come to our rescue. And then by the time we finished from the program, we saw that they have succeeded in clearing the road. Okay, now, because that happened, just a minute, quickly. Because that happened first day, it was not checked. By the second day, pocket of roadblocks started propping up in different parts of the day. As at yesterday, before the protest even ended, we had about 30 of such flag areas where people were collecting money across the city from innocent people.
Let me come to you for a second. Now, perhaps I may want to say again that Edo civil society perhaps is leaving too early, because you started by letting us know that you've been helping security agencies to manage the situation. Kudos to you guys.
Thank you.
Now you have withdrawn, from the protest. There's no doubt the protest may continue today. Can the police force alone now, handle the situation vis-a-vis that help that should be given to the police force to manage the situation?
Okay, the activities of the Coalition of Civil Society Organization Edo State with the Nigerian Police Force Edo State was a collective responsibility. We synergized with them because we knew full well that they cannot handle the situation alone, because we are all parts of the bad happenings in our state. If the hoodlums or the protesters try to continue the protests, and we're saying that the Nigerian police force may not be able to tackle it alone, we will still go back to our drawing boards and re-strategize.
And go back to help them to manage?
Just on a quick
manage the situation? No, let her land. You go back to
re-strategize on what to do.
Okay. But mind you, the police force has not said that they cannot.
No, they never said so. I know they are capable of doing it, of handling situations without the use of force.
Okay. All right, so Jat.
Now, just on a quick one. If you followed the press conference we had yesterday, we stated emphatically, we are pulling out those who want to continue to vent, do it within the ambit of the law. But however, I want to appeal to Edo youth and Edo people. One of the reasons why we pulled out, now there are certain security concern. I cannot speak for the security agencies. There are certain intelligence that I am privy to, but I'm not at liberty to share because I am not a spokesman for the security agency. But having surveyed the environment, the happening, the build-up, the tension, and other intelligence that we are available at our disposal, we saw that remaining on the street only endanger the life of Edo people. And so we want to appeal to you, even if you are venting your anger, you want to continue the protest, number one, please open the roads. Now the law said, it is a common knowledge in law that where your rights stop, that is where another man's right begin. Just as you have right to vent your anger, you have right to protest. Those who do not want to protest also have the right not to protest. So what we are telling people, number one, is even if you want to continue the process, go about it peacefully. Don't block the road. Let other people who do not share your sentiment and opinion and want to go about their normal life, let them go about their normal life and businesses. Okay. Do whatever you do within the ambit of the law.
All right, so we'll quickly take a short break now. The program is still here this morning on ITV. These are two members of Edo State Civil Society organizations are still here. So when we return after this time out, we're going to be asking for echo, because yesterday we saw some market women, you know, taking side with the protest. So as a lady, as a woman, we're going to be asking her questions from that perspective. Let's talk about briefly of our markets. Market somehow seems to be the flashpoints, the hotspots in this protest so far. We saw yesterday whereby some market women, I think around Oilbeni area, the market women, they came out protesting and all that. Now, as a member of the situation room, perhaps you had some, you are privy to know some hotspots, even as we try to say that we're trying to say no more protests in Edo State. Where are those hotspots that people should watch out for, maybe the non-hotspots in Edo State? Okay.
First of all, you're talking about the Oilbeni market women and all that.
Yeah.
Okay. Those women came out to express their displeasure on the happenings in Edo State. As regards the hike in prices of food commodities, a lot of them, they get their means of livelihood from selling food commodities. And as we see the happenings in Edo State and all over the nation, the hike in fuel price has affected the prices of food commodities.
Yeah.
Okay, so items that are sold in a lesser amount some months ago or weeks ago or some days ago may just skyrocket. And this also affects their sales. You see some of them, the items being displayed for sales because of the high prices, and people who are unable to buy their products, their perishable goods gets destroyed.
Yeah, but there are allegations also that at times these market women are also responsible for the hike in price. I mean, a situation whereby you have various unions and all that. In some markets, if you are not a member of the vegetable union, as small as it is, you cannot sell vegetable.
Yes, it's true. Well, I would say the hike in prices, the hike in price of fuel has also affected it. And also these unions, they also pay dues. And some of the dues that they pay and the taxes that they pay within the market will also affect the prices of food commodities. They need to meet up. And how do they meet up? By increasing the prices of food commodities, and which will affect virtually all humans who consume these goods in Edo State.
Okay, Mr. Judge, yesterday you guys actually made some demands, and from that demands it appears that the federal government is at the center of it all. Now, if we are fair enough in all of all this, I think we should begin to ask our state governors some question. No wonder, little wonder perhaps, that Mr. President had to remind Nigerians of this money. That's about 36 billion naira has been given so far to the state governors. Now, when the civil society organizations, when they make their demands, the governors, are they not part of it?
Well, like I started saying only just now, that our focus we are never just on the federal government, because government is on 3 tiers. While we were out on the street protesting, if all the message, if you follow what the people were saying, we are venting and agitating, we were in Edo State even more focused on demanding accountability from our government. Quickly, when we even talk about government, say we should, Nigeria, the thing has become a little bit more complicated than just looking at even the government. our civil servants, if you know some of the things that happen in some of these ministries, particularly when it comes to awarding contracts, implementing projects, you will be shocked. So when we demand good governance and bad governance, the first place all of this should start. And part of the reason why haven't achieved some of the things we set out to achieve, we have to pull out. Part of the reason is because at this point in our history, we all need to retrospect. We all have to look inward. What are we contributing to the national menace? We all have to ask ourselves individually, what is my nuisance value in the whole Nigerian issue right now? Because why we accuse the federal government at our local level, you just mentioned the issue of union right now. Unionism in Edo State in recent weeks, in recent months, have assumed a witchcraft dimension
in our markets.
It has assumed a satanic dimension. When people say there is hike in food price because of fuel, it's not only Edo State people use fuel. Since you still buy something as simple as a bottle of pure water, once you get to Ore, you will see a bottle of pure water to buy for 150, 200. How much in Edo? Is it only in Edo State people are using fuel? We must look inward. You talk about market women protesting. With all fairness, when I say this union have assumed a satanic dimension, you join the union whether you like it or not. Without joining, in fact, women are compelled to join this union against their wish. If you don't join, you are prevented from selling, you are prevented from even entering your own shop because you are not in this. And what is the union? We interviewed some persons in one of the market not long ago, and they told us they will bring a truck of goods. While the truck is touching down, union will come. How much is this basket? Okay, this one is 6,000. No, let's call it 9,000. It is that bad. Now, this is not connected. One of the things Edo State government, okay, before we even begin to discuss that, as a way of inciting the next thing we will say next, one of the things Edo State government must do is to open a free market in Edo. Every trader in Edo State have the right to buy their goods wherever they want to buy and sell at whatever price competitive enough for them.
All right, so because of time now, Ifako, what's your message now? I mean, as a member of the Situation Room, what's the message to the people watching you this morning?
My message to the good citizens of Edo State, I want to commend them for trying to achieve a peaceful protest, right? Because to the greatest observation that we had, I think there was no life actually lost. There was minimal burning of tires on the road. Even when the police got to know that they started burning tires somewhere around Saple Road, they quickly went there to curb this disaster. Yeah. And also, if you look at areas like Eho, Iruekme, Ekpoma, and all those areas, people went about their peaceful duties. We didn't really get so much distress calls from that axis. But if you look at MM Way, Ramat Park, White Junction by Dogbo, Okabere, which was a very hot spot, you know.
Past the local road.
Yes, and those areas, Oluku, Uniben Main Gate, Ramat Park, opposite TCTS, they were actually causing some kind of havoc there, but the police officers came there to curb the situation. I want to really thank them for the cooperation and also for the good citizens of Edo State for a job well done by cooperating somehow to achieve a peaceful protest in Edo State.
Okay, we want to say a very big thank you to Ifweko Ewe, a member of the Situation Room, the End Bad Governance protest in Edo State, and also a member of the civil society organization in Edo State. Thank you so much. And also to Blessed Justice, a formidable member of Edo civil society organizations in Edo State. Blessed, thank you so much for joining. Well, this is where we end the program today. We wish to let you know that by 10 a.m., there's going to be a special coverage of the End Bad Governance protest to give you updates and situation reports from our reporters and correspondents on the field across various states of Nigeria by 10 a.m. That's just only about some 8 minutes away from now, so that you get to know the updates as far as the protest is concerned. Day 4 of the protest, you may want to call it, and let's see how the protest is going to turn even after the president has made his broadcast this morning. My name is Evan Sunokuge. Tomorrow the program returns at same time in the morning. Until then, goodbye and God bless you.